Figure it out. Figure it out. You need to figure it out.
Figure it out, man.
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
Figure it out. All right? Figure it out. Just figure it out.
The love of God, figure it out.
And welcome to the FIO podcast. I am your host, as always, Mason Kleist. And if you haven't figured it out by now, you need to figure it out. Like, I need to figure it out because, Jesus, it's been a while since I've done this. It's been about a couple weeks. I guess it's not been too long. But I tried, I wanted to do it every week. And I got a little lazy. I'm not, I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I got quite lazy. The Vikings were on a bye week, so I said, you know what, I'm going to take a bye week too. And that bye week ended up being, a 2 to 3 week break, especially with the holidays, Thanksgiving, and everything. And I'm just continuing to make excuses. No, I suck. I need to figure it out, and I will get better about posting more often. It's going to be a great show, though. I will make up for it with a great show today. We got my good friend Garrett Vathroder coming on, former teammate, former roommate. He'll be on later in the show, so it's going to be a little different. He's not so football savvy like I like to talk about, like most of my guests are, but he definitely knows his shit. We're going to talk a little bit about baseball, I'm sure, a little bit about my alma mater. We're going to get into some questionable scenarios that really ticked me off earlier in the last couple weeks, and get his input on that. So I suggest you tune in because it's going to be an interesting show. Anyway, hot topic right now, Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, America's team. 6-7 leading the division. Wow. Can we just take a second and imagine an 8-8 team, a potential 8-8 team hosting a playoff game, a home playoff game, which they will most likely lose unless they somehow catch fire. Because, I've been on record on this show saying the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers are one of the most disappointing teams in the NFL. Yet the Cowboys are right there because they have a loaded roster too. They got A at running back, A at quarterback, I would say. Their defense is top 5. They have the number 1 scoring offense and they're 6-7. Think about that. They have the best offensive line in football. They got Amari Cooper. Yet they're 6-7. It's not tallying out to wins. So they're definitely, up there. I won't say they're more disappointing than the Browns or the Chargers, right, as of right now. But I will say that they are definitely on their way. At least they're leading their division. They're lucky that the Eagles are terrible. They one-upped them. The Eagles said, "Hey, we lost to Miami," and Dallas said, "Hold my beer. I'm going to make Mitchell Trubisky look like an MVP candidate." Mitchell Trubisky, I will give him credit where credit is due. He had 4 total touchdowns last night. He was incredible to watch. He looked like a different person out there against, a fringe. I think they're the number 10 defense. The Bears and Cowboys are very similar. They got, not offensively by any means, but they have a top 10 defense. They have good players, not quite the weapons that Dallas has. But I thought it was reasonable. They both underachieved coming into the game. They were both 6-6 coming into the game. But crazy that one was in third place going in and one was in first place going in at the same record. But yeah, it just looks bad on the Vikings because we went toe-to-toe with the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football a couple weeks ago. What a game that was. And now that they're going to keep losing to these bad teams, it just might make that win not as good. The Cowboys have not beaten the team over 500. They're on their second 3-game losing streak of the season. They're underachieving big time, and it's not fun to be a Dallas Cowboys fan right now. But America wins when the Cowboys lose, and I will always celebrate a Cowboys loss, especially being here in Texas. So many Cowboys fans I work with, always giving me shit, always talking, and whenever they go on these 3-game losing streaks, they seem to kind of crawl back into their little hole, not really active, not really asking about football, and then they'll beat a team like the Giants or the Redskins, and they'll come out and be like, "How about them Cowboys? We're going to the Super Bowl." Literally every single one I work with it's the same story, it's the same thing. But I will say it sucks because I just had to turn down box tickets to Jerry World on November 29th, I think it was, where they play the Redskins. And if you haven't had a chance to go to an NFL game, first off, it's amazing. Second off, Jerry World is $1 billion stadium at Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium. And to be box tickets, dinner served to you, food served to you, drinks. Yeah, you already know I would be taking full advantage of that. But unfortunately, I will not be able to attend that. But I'm not going to let it bother me too much. I will eventually get to a Cowboys game. I don't know about box tickets, but I will go to a Cowboys game because it's definitely one of those bucket list things, like going to Wrigley Field or Lambeau Field. Just one of those historic, not necessarily as historic as those two, but definitely one that it should be on everyone's bucket list to go to when the Jumbotron is literally bigger than the entire stadium. But after that, though, I will say right now, Dak Prescott is still better than Carson Wentz, and I don't think it's even close. Wentz losing to the Dolphins is just a terrible thing. But they're both not looking good. Dak was in MVP talks earlier in the year, and I'm glad that that's quickly subsided. I think Ezekiel Elliott looks like a shell of himself. He looks nothing like he did. And I picked the Cowboys to win last night too, and I'm glad I didn't do it on this show and put it on record, and mess up my overall record that I will be getting into. Maybe not today, another time, because I kept all my sheets. Even though I don't go over them, I kept all my sheets, and I have been very good with my picks, and I am well over 500. We're going to get into some fantasy playoff implications too later in the week, or later in the episode. We're going to, tell you who to start, who to sit. It's going to be a good episode, so keep listening. But I got Garrett texting me over and over again, asking me when he's going to be on, so I got to get him on. So without further ado, let's get Garrett Vathroder on the phone here. And here is Garrett Vathroder. How we doing, Garrett?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing great. How about you?
That sounded so fake.
That's what this is, isn't it?
It's fake? Oh, wow. I see how it is.
No.
Hey, you got the hiccups, though. That's what you told me.
I do. You'll hear them in a second. They're staying away right now. They're a little shocked.
So Garrett recently just hit the 500-pound mark in deadlift, and I think he's pretty proud of himself. How are you feeling?
I've never hit 500 pounds. Last year I got to 495, and I couldn't get 500 up, and this year it was ugly. But I did get it up after about 15, 20 seconds of pulling.
Yeah, how's your back feeling after that?
It was a little sore. It was really sore the day after, but today I'm feeling pretty good.
I feel like if Spurgeon was there, he wouldn't have allowed that to happen. He would have said, please drop that before you kill yourself. So,
yeah, he probably would have. Remember when Seth Hicks, the freshman, he was almost.
Oh my God! Yeah,
he made him stop.
Yeah, that was incredible. That guy was a man child. I forgot what was on. I think it was 505, and he was like, "Should I?" And he's like, "I've never." Because didn't he say he's never deadlifted before or something?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Oh, should I try this?" And because he just got 495 or whatever it was pretty easily, and I was like, "All right, yeah, go for it." And he just picks it up and then looks at us while he's holding it and he's like, "Is this good?" And then we're like, "Yeah, drop it, man." That guy was a beast, and then he ditched us for his girlfriend.
I know, he was only there. He didn't even make it half a semester. He done left us.
I think he got hurt. Didn't he? Got hurt and sick, and then.
Oh, yeah, he did. He hurt his back. Something.
Ironically. Well, how's this semester been? You got finals coming up, huh?
Yeah, semester's been okay. I'm passing everything.
Whoa.
I'm not too worried about finals. Never have been.
So when is that, next week?
Yep. My finals Tuesday and Wednesday, and then I'm finished. 3 classes left in the spring semester, and I'm done.
So you are fully healthy now. You are recovering from a torn ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL, which is basically the ACL of your elbow. Very common surgery in baseball with the Tommy John surgery. What's that recovery process been like, and are you ready to go?
I'm right at the 10 10-month mark now. It's a full year recovery time, but you know, it was rough when I first got it. We lived together when I just had it done. You and Rob had to help me change shirts, change my bandages. So yeah, the first part of that surgery is rough when you first come out of it. You can't really do a lot, and the physical therapy was probably the hardest thing. Trying to work towards straightening that my elbow out all the way, just getting the motion back. But you know, once physical therapy stopped, I was allowed to. My doctor cleared me to start lifting light, and lifting helped it out a lot with the tightness and everything. And then I got released to start lifting or throwing at 6 months, and after that, it really haven't had any pain out of it at all. I started bullpens about 4 weeks ago, up to 60 pitches now, so everything's going good.
Dude, that's got to be good. I mean, I've never had an injury like that, but I do remember being away from the sport and then getting back on the mound that first time. Even if it's just a bullpen, it's just an amazing feeling to feel that again.
Definitely. I miss being away from it. I'm glad I'm back. I'm ready for the season. We're going to have a pretty good squad this year.
Yeah, so take me through it seems like every year you don't think you can get better, but they end up getting better. My senior year, we had the 26-game winning streak, and then last year you guys won how many games last year?
We won 46.
So
one shot of your senior year.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys were still offensively better for some reason.
Yeah, we led the NAI in home runs.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep, and Benz broke the home run record.
He did.
And whatnot.
Hurley broke the strikeout record.
Who did? Oh, yeah, Hurley he shattered the strikeout record.
Yeah.
He did that in like his first start or second start.
First start, I believe.
Yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, so you guys poised to make another run, maybe host another regional. What's the expectations around the locker room right now?
Yeah, definitely making a trip to Lewiston, hosting another regional. You know, we've hosted the past 2 years and couldn't make it out of Williamsburg, but you know, that's always the goal, make it to Lewiston. I feel like our pitching staff's a lot better this year. We're a lot more deeper in the pen. We got more guys that can come out.
Yeah, last year you guys only had one lefty out of the pen, huh?
Yeah, we got 2 this year.
Now we'll hold 2. That's okay. How's I'm assuming Colton's the ace. Is this how we're going with this, or is he coming out of the pen?
No, he's definitely gonna be a starter.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it takes Colton a couple weeks to figure out where he's at. I feel like when conference rolls around, he'll definitely be in the starting rotation.
Yeah, and that seems to be around conference time is when Colton seems to lock it in and get ready to go. He's got to go through a few shitty starts before he and have a few mental breakdowns before he starts being really good.
Definitely. I really don't know who's going to be the ace. We have 4 or 5 different guys that could definitely do the job.
Well, that's good.
Which is a good thing.
And are you going to be fighting for your closing spot back, or is it pretty much yours once you're ready?
If I come back and healthy like I was my junior year, it should be all mine. Shouldn't.
Well, I don't know if Coach Sheldon has sat you down at all and really told you what his plan is with you this year.
No, we kind of talk. We haven't had our exit meetings yet. I'm guessing those are next week. You know how the communication is here. We find out the day of. But you know, we've kind of talked just the same role. If it's the 7th inning and they need me, he's going to come to me. If it's the 9th, he's going to come to me. Just whenever he feels like I need to be out there. I mean, we got a lot more pen guys this year, so he's going to have more options to go to early in a game if our starters can't make it the 6 or 7 like they have been the past 2 years.
Yeah, man, and this is probably your last year, is it not?
It is. This is my last year.
And you are okay with that, or how are you feeling about that this being your senior year?
You know, it's different. I don't really know what to think of it.
It's tough, man. You don't know what to think until it's over.
Till it's over. I know it's not going to hit me till it's over.
That's why I was like messing around the entire season, my senior season, by saying this is my last game on this date. You know what I mean? This is my last time doing this, and everyone's like, shut up.
All the other seniors, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because last year there was a lot of seniors. How many seniors are there this year? Not as many as last year.
They had 14 last year.
That's a lot. We had like 5 my year.
I think we have 10 or 11 this year.
It's a decent amount. Jeez.
Me, Timo, Kevin, Pedro. Who's on the mountain? Colton.
Oh yeah, Colton's a senior.
Corey. Leaf. Guillermo.
Oh, I forgot about Leaf. He returned.
Damo.
Is Damo playing?
Damo is playing. Damo's cleared.
Wow. I never thought I'd see the day. Is he playing third or first?
What do you think?
First.
That's where he's at. Gold Glover.
Motherfucker, dude. I literally told him he was going to play first. I said, you're going to play first for next year. He goes, no, I'm not. I'll quit if I play first. I was like, you're good at it, man. Just play first.
Our third baseman this year, he's like 93, 95 across the infield. Damo doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, that sounds nasty. I mean, we've always had a pretty stacked infield. That seems to be the way to go.
Yeah, we're not going to have Jose this year. That's going to hurt us.
Which one was Jose again?
He was the third baseman last year.
The 24-year-old last year, the old one?
Yeah, I think he turns 24. I think he turned 24 this year.
Yeah.
No, he turned. Yeah, he's going to be 25.
It was an eligibility thing, right?
Yeah,
I believe. Grades-wise. I never understood that. Just get your shit done, man. I never understood that.
You go to class, do your homework, and you pretty much pass.
Exactly. It's not that hard. And I mean, Shelton will work with you as long as long as you get your shit done, he'll work with you. Just get your shit done. That's pretty much all I got to say there. Well, I wish you the best of luck this season. I hope to make it out to a game, hopefully in like May, maybe.
Hey, I got an air mattress for you.
Is it gonna run out of air on me?
Hopefully not.
Dude, I saw it on Facebook today, actually. My high school is having their alumni weekend in March, and I plan on being home around March. So that's pretty exciting. And I know there's usually an alumni game, like where we play against each other. Mm-hmm. I think it was one year they played against each other. They kind of changed it every year. And then another year, they did alumni versus like the current people, like the current kids. Mm-hmm. And that's what I want to do. I want to see if I can K up some future college kid or something, you know what I mean? Thinking he's hot shit.
That's how my junior college.
That's what they did?
That's how our alumni games were. All that we played, the actual team that we had that year played against the alumni from past years. It was really fun. They usually beat us. Yeah,
I don't know how goofy it's going to be. Usually, the ones I went to, it was always kind of like when I was a player and I watched, I always thought they kind of looked weird. But now it seems like really prestigious. It's like, dinner and everything. I'm like, okay, I don't remember that.
At my JUCO, Coach Tuma, he's got 2 of those big igloo coolers, like the 65, 70 quart ones.
Yeah.
And he fills them flat full of beer. So the alumni are drinking the whole game. But both my years that we played in the alumni game, there was always big D1 guys that came back and played against us, and draft guys that come back and played against us. So, I mean, we kind of got the rough end of the stick there.
Yeah.
They were still playing.
Yeah, I would definitely not do the alumni if I was still playing. First off, because I wouldn't want to get hurt for, like, my current team, but just for, like, what's the point? You obviously know you still got it if you're playing, like, at that point.
Oh, so, yeah. I mean, I remember one year there was a draft guy. He got drafted the year before I got there. He was up to 96 when he got drafted.
Yeah, fuck that.
And he come back, and he started that hard against us. No, we didn't touch him.
Dude, at work, next to my work, there's a baseball field that they do a men's league there, like an adult league. And there's just these dudes out there, they're wearing pants, and they're actually, like, pitching. There's umpires and stuff. And I remember I asked one of the guys, because, like, we get their foul balls all the time, and we have to throw them back. And I asked him, I was like, how can I get a part of this league? I was like, is it open tryouts? And they said tryouts are in, like, a few months or something like that, like, because the league will start back up again. And I was
you gotta do it.
Yeah, I'm tempted, man, like, to see if I still got – I literally haven't, like – I hurt my arm throwing the ball back to them. Like, it was sore. So I don't know
who
how well.
called me the other day?
What was going on?
You know who called me the other day?
Who?
Complaining about their arm?
Who? Nick?
Nick Prepare.
Yeah.
He said he was at work and he picked up a rock and threw it. And he said his elbow has been so sore the past couple of days. That is the most Nick thing I've ever heard.
I'm sure he's feeling pretty good about LSU right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's having a good old time in Louisiana.
They're going to be a tough team to beat.
I haven't been paying attention too much, but I know that Burrows guy, or whatever his last name is, he's pretty good.
Him.
I think he's the Heisman favorite at this point, and he's going to go.
I think he should be. He just broke the all-time pass
for LSU.
Passing, what was it? I think yards passing in an SEC season. So he broke that. He broke the LSU record, and he broke the SEC record.
I mean, he beat Bama. This is pretty significant.
He did.
But I mean,
he took for like four touchdowns, and
Bama's defense was trash this year. Auburn looked good against them.
I know Florida beat Auburn.
I mean,
Auburn beat Bama, so it means pretty much Florida's better than Bama.
I don't pay attention to college football that much, but I remember earlier in the season, like week 2 or 3, when Jalen Hurts was going off, everyone was saying he's the Heisman favorite. Justin Burrows, whatever his name is, he had a huge game against somebody. He beat somebody good. I can't remember. Like early in the season when they were
Texas.
yeah, it was Texas, and they were like,
killed Texas.
And they're like, oh, we're going to put him in the Heisman race because of that, but we don't think he'll actually win it or be competitive at the end of the year because of the tough opponents he's going to have to play. But then he's stepped up to the challenge. I mean, are they undefeated? They're undefeated, right?
Yeah, they're 12-0. They beat Texas. I think Texas was ranked like 6th in the nation when they beat Texas.
Shit.
Then they beat Florida. Florida was ranked 7th in the nation when they beat Florida.
Yeah.
Then they beat Bama, and Bama was ranked 2nd in the nation.
Jeez.
And now they play Georgia tomorrow, and they're number 4 in the nation.
Yeah, the SEC Championship's tomorrow in Atlanta.
It is.
I will not be able to watch that, but I am sure it'll be an amazing game. But let's get into the root of why I called you. And you know this, you know why I called you. You know, shit's been grinding my gears the last couple weeks. You are what you would say, are you an avid hunter? Are you an experienced hunter? What is your hunting? What got you into it? What propels you to do it continuously? Like, walk me through that.
I consider myself an experienced hunter. I mean, I grew up with it. I've been in the woods ever since I was born. My family introduced it to me. We'd always have we lease about 6,000 acres in Palatka, Florida.
Jeez.
You know, that's where it all started. And started going out there ever since I was little. And got really hooked in it. I hunted with my grandpa almost every weekend. I went up there, and he kind of taught me everything I know. And ever since then, I killed my first deer with him.
How old were you?
7.
7 when you killed your first deer?
Yeah.
With a gun?
Really young. Yeah. It was
that
223.
Is that standard? Or is that kind of like?
I'd say that's about the average age.
Jeez.
If you start at a young age.
My nephew's 6. I can't imagine him shooting an animal.
I mean, you could put it. I mean, when you're that young, they put it in a gun vise. No, I mean, all you got to do is just aim it and pull the trigger.
Yeah, like I feel like he's not even like strong enough to do that. He's just getting into Pokemon. I don't think he's going to be shooting animals anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know about that. he might not be the one. He might have to get into it a little later on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just going to be a good old boy. I don't know if he's going to get into that. But anyway, so you killed your first deer at 7. Is it season right now for them? Or have you gone this season at all?
Yeah, it's open till about, I think up here in Kentucky it's open till the 3rd weekend in January.
Mm-hmm.
And usually we get off of baseball in the middle of October, so I hunt all of October and all of November. Killed a doe this year. Got some meat in the freezer, but wasn't able to kill a buck.
Dude, I'm so mad that I didn't take advantage of, because we had so much deer meat and game meat in our freezer, in our fridge, and when I was living there with you guys. And I never took, I was just too lazy to thaw it out or make it or anything like that. But it's honestly, I've been reading up on it, and I've had a few deer here, like just from like the grocery store, and it's just so good,
They sell deer there at the grocery store?
It's like it's not like Walmart. It's like a specialty store.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember what it's
I was about
called.
to say.
It was kind of expensive.
I mean, I could see Texas being the state that does that, though.
Yeah, it was like venison. It was very good. But and at Thanksgiving, someone brought it too, and it was amazing.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, damn. I was like, my roommate literally hunted all the time, and I never ate anything. Like, only when you cooked, I was like, okay, I'll have a few bites,
It was good.
It was good. I need to. You need to like send some to me or something.
I got a lot.
I'll pay for the shipping.
I'll quarter the deer up, and then I let it soak on ice for about 3 days. Let the blood get out of the meat so it doesn't have that gamey taste to it, and take it to a processor, and they'll usually charge you about, I know my processor back home charges us $50 a deer, but they can do just about anything with it. They'll make it into sausage, cube steak, they'll grind it up into hamburger, and you can put it in with like chili or...
But it's like $50. It's $50 for the entire deer, right? Like
the entire deer, and the amount of meat you get back packaged is unreal.
And you can ask them, like, customize it. Like, oh, I want some sausage, some this, some that.
Oh, yeah. You can tell them whatever you want.
That's not bad, then.
They'll do it.
I bet that guy makes a pretty good living doing that, too.
I'd imagine, because every time I bring him a deer, he's had about 30 or 40 coolers sitting in his garage.
Exactly. He's got shit to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're taught at a young age to respect the wildlife, are you not?
I was taught growing up. I was about 11 or 12. My dad bought me and my brother pellet guns.
Okay.
And I remember the first day we got them, me and Colton went out walking through the woods, and we come back with, we probably had 15, 20 birds, all different species.
Yeah.
Come back to show Dad. We were so proud. And he taught us right there. He made us clean the birds, and we had to cook them and eat every single one of them.
Wow.
And that is the last time that I killed a bird just to kill it.
Or yeah.
He taught us if we shoot something, we got to eat it.
Or even that many, the amount. You know what I mean?
The amount's not bad because, you can always package them and freeze them and eat them another time. But
I'm saying, to the process to go like that many, like the time-consuming part of having to, like, clean that many bodies, you know what I mean?
It's not fun.
Exactly. So, like, if you knew ahead of time that you were going to have to do that, you probably wouldn't have killed as many.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Or been more selective. That's a pretty good lesson, though, to teach. So there's not sociopaths out there just killing for fun.
Oh, definitely.
There's definitely an entertainment factor to it. I understand, but you want to be able to, like, I am so pro hunting. Like, there's so many people that are against it, and you know how into animals I am and whatnot. I work with animals, I keep animals, and I understand even trophy hunting. Like, trophy hunting is it's very controversial because you don't really know who the good ones or the bad ones are, because there are plenty of game hunters out there in Africa will say, yeah, you can shoot a lion for $50,000. Sure, it'll go back to lion conservation, but it's really, it could just be going right back to their pockets. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
And there's,
I've never really been into that, the Africa hunting. I go out there and shoot some of the antelope they have, but, I just don't have any.
But do you have to pay for that? Is that considered a trophy hunt, or do you just have to have some kind of a license for that?
I'm sure they're considered trophies. They're probably not nearly as expensive as shooting a lion or a zebra or an elephant or something like that nature.
I don't think there's any trophy hunting for elephant currently. I know there is.
It's pretty much all poaching.
Yeah, that's black market shit right there. But I know there is for lions. Like, you can go shoot a lion. I do know of one place that I follow pretty well. You can go shoot a lion for a good amount of money, and it will go back to the conservation of them. But the lion you'll kill is like either a nuisance one that's killing other lions, so it's like we don't need that around, or it's like an elderly lion that's on its way out anyway. Not really.
See, I don't see a problem with that.
Yeah, me either. As long as there's a sport to it, because usually with the elderly lions, because once they reach an age, if you think about it, they reach an age to where they can't sexually reproduce anymore. They're pretty much dead because they can't pass on any more genes. So they're pretty much just taking up resources instead of putting it back in. So that's the way they look at it, and especially the nuisance ones too. Definitely going to kill that.
I definitely don't see a problem with that, but just going out and shooting an animal and not doing anything with the meat or anything, just shooting it to shoot it. That's kind of what everyone has a problem with.
Yeah, and a video surfaced, a couple videos surfaced now that we're going to get into. The first one will make the second one not even. I mean, the second one will make the first one look like it's nothing, but
nothing. Yeah.
First one is a little hits home because it happened in Williamsburg, Kentucky, and it was at the Cumberlands and at the apartment complex that I used to live at, and it's crazy. So basically, the short story here, folks, is a guy opened up his door and just point blank shot a striped skunk with a bow and arrow from about 4 feet away. And then shut the door, and one dude braced the door like it was going to break in or something. I don't know why he was bracing it. And then proceeded to laugh like little schoolgirls or little boys laughing about a farting joke. So
that's what it was.
Yeah, that really grinded my gears. And whenever I have anything with hunting, I always go to this guy, Garrett, because he's got integrity. I'm not going to go to Robbie because Robbie shows no integrity for that kind of stuff. He's like, oh, it's just a skunk. I'll kill that too. So I haven't talked to Robbie about the other story, though. He'd probably have my back for the other story. But
yeah, definitely. I don't know who would.
Yeah, so I just like what's the thought process there with the skunk killing, and what do you think is going through his head in that moment? Like, what do you think is gonna? I guess that's kind of that's a stupid question. Let me ask a different question. Let me ask, what do you think, like as like a hunter, is the penalty there? What laws has he broken there?
Well, I don't know much about skunk hunting, but I would say he did not have a license to shoot skunk. Because in Kentucky, you have to buy tags for every animal. So if you want to go turkey hunting, you have to buy a turkey tag. If you want to go deer hunting, you have to buy a deer tag.
Oh, it's not like one general one?
No, there's a general hunting license.
Yeah.
But then when you buy the hunting license, you have to buy the tags for the animals.
Oh, geez.
So, like, my hunting license was $40 for in-state. And then a deer tag, 2 deer tags, you get a buck and a doe. And that's right at $15, $20. So it comes out to right at $60 or $70.
That's not bad.
So I'm sure I would guess he had a skunk tag.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you're allowed to shoot them at night or if you have to shoot them in the daytime.
Yeah, I did a little research, and there is a hunting season for him, and it's currently going on right now. But it's not the allotted time, and the time is literally 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which is a little strange. Which is a little strange because I mean, skunks are nocturnal, or they're opportunistic, so they'll be out during the day and the night. So I don't understand the guy's thought process behind that. And hopefully something gets done relatively soon. I don't know what the penalty could be, maybe getting his hunting license revoked or something like that,
That's definitely the penalty. I mean, I know for poaching, which that would be considered poaching, because he killed him at night, so it's considered poaching.
Wow.
There's a fine. You could get arrested. I know a lot of times they'll take the equipment you used, so they would take his bow. I think that's about it. Just a fine. They could be arrested, and they take the equipment. And a lot of times you don't get your equipment back.
Yeah, I mean, I knew the guy. He we had a class together. He's a good guy. I don't know why. I mean, I wouldn't expect something out of that from him. So I mean, I wouldn't want the dude to go to jail, but at least something to grow. Not even to really learn his lesson. Like to where he's like, "I'll never shoot a skunk again." But more like I want him to feel empathy for the animal, but itself, because he didn't at the time, and it seemed like there was alcohol involved. And I don't think he's a very avid drinker. It doesn't seem like he is. Like sometimes you can just tell by looking at a guy, or just like talking to a guy if he's an avid drinker or not. I do not think he is. So I think it was more a peer pressure thing, and he just kind of fell into it. But nonetheless, there was no excuse for that, and he needs to figure it out. He is my figure it out person of the week, and this next guy is my figure it out person of the week. This other story I saw, and you have seen now, and I'm pretty sure it's viral. Like, I don't know who hasn't seen it
everywhere after you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Two guys in Pennsylvania, Brooksville, Pennsylvania. I think you think that they shot the deer in the spine.
They spined him.
Spined him,
which paralyzed him.
Where
paralyzed him. Use his legs.
And so the video starts with them giggling, and they look like young. They look like 16 or 17. They don't look too old. And one of the boys was kicking the buck repeatedly in the face over and over again, and just laughing about it. And then later in the video, they ripped the antlers off of the deer while it's still alive and kicking. So I don't know. That's just monstrous in my opinion. That's not even sport. That's
Yeah, and deer shed their antlers yearly.
Yeah.
So when they break an antler off, it kind of stuns them because they're used to that up there.
Yeah.
You're ripping it out. You're ripping it out of its skull. That's bone. That's connected. Like when it's ready to come off, it's ready to come off. It doesn't hurt then when they actually shed them. But if you're gonna rip it off,
kind of like a tooth.
It's what is it?
Kind of like a tooth.
Yeah, it's exactly like a tooth. Like
you mean your tooth is loose? Yeah.
They usually shed in like December, January time.
Yeah.
And then they start growing back around March,
mm-hmm.
May-ish, April-ish, somewhere around there. But when they're ready to shed, they don't hurt. But if you take a deer, like I obviously you've seen videos of two bucks getting locked up.
Yeah.
When they're fighting and they have to cut their antlers off.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you see them when they first get up, but they're kind of wobbly because, you take something that's off their body missing like that. They don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, it throws them off.
Yeah.
I've seen like skeletons of deer of two male deer that have died because they locked up and then they just starve to death, or get predated
they can't
on.
Do nothing. Usually what happens is one of them ends up killing the other one.
Yeah.
And then the other one can't get out, so he ends up starving. You find two locked up antlers sitting in the middle of the woods.
And it really it hurt to watch it as an animal lover, but that's gotta hurt to watch even as a hunter. Like that's because that puts a bad name on you, or just like is it? Yeah, it's a sport, I guess. So it's like it puts a bad name on something you love. You know what I mean? So like people will always question that because it's already a controversial subject. People hate hunters all over because PETA and whatnot. But it's a necessary evil. If you didn't fucking shoot the deer, they're going to be everywhere. You're going to be hitting them with your car anyway.
If as a hunter, when you go to take an animal, you're trying to take a shot that is going to put the animal down as fast as possible. So
yeah.
Especially they're definitely bow hunters
because they miss that bad.
If you shoot a deer in the spine with a gun, he's going to bleed out faster.
Oh, so you think he hit him with his bow? Definitely
hit him with the bow.
Damn.
So, I've never actually spined a deer. I'm sure it will happen one day because it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, and shooting a bow is not easy. But when you do, Perk did it. Nick did it here. Mm. But if you spine them, everyone that I know, you got to put another arrow into them. That's gonna keep them from suffering.
Yeah.
As a hunter, you try not to, but it's just something that's gonna happen one day to you.
So is that only if you're bow hunting then, or would you put a bullet in its head after, or do you not want? You can't, because isn't it like the hide? You don't, especially if you're gonna keep the head. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna keep the head, yeah, you're not gonna shoot it in the head. But
so how would you put it out of its misery then? It's almost like you don't, huh?
Just shoot it behind the back shoulder.
Oh,
right
okay.
Where the lungs and the heart is. And,
yeah.
It'd be a couple minutes and he's done.
I guess I would always just feel like I'd miss and just keep hurting it more.
I have heard stories of that too. People trying to. they spine them and then they stay in the stand and try to shoot another arrow and to end up missing. Then they start thinking and they get down and they walk right up to them.
And then it starts attacking them or something, or what?
No, they'll try to get away, but they're spine, they're paralyzed, they can't. But you're not going to miss when you're 5 feet away from them.
Yeah, it's just sad to see them squirm on the ground and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely.
But did you have any kind of doubts going into this kind of hobby? Like when you were a kid, were you like, oh, I don't want to hurt animals or something like that? Or was it kind of like you grew up with it, so it was like kind of the norm?
Kind of a normal thing, I never had any doubts with it. Obviously, when I go, I don't shoot yearlings, or if I have a doe come in with yearlings and they're young yearlings, they're small and they can't fend for themselves, I won't shoot their mom. But if I have a doe come out and their yearlings are as big as them, they just haven't, the mamas just haven't kicked them. They just haven't kicked them out yet. Usually.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with that, but usually a doe won't kick their yearlings out until their breeding season comes around. Once the breeding season comes around in November, usually that's when they kick them out.
Well, aren't they herd animals?
Huh?
They're herd animals, are they not? So wouldn't they stay with the family group?
So in the summer times, they are herd animals, but usually when it comes to the winter, they're not really. You might see a couple does together, but that's just coincidental.
Yeah.
They're just together, but after a while they will make a way and they'll go on their own.
Yeah, because I could see the bucks leaving, obviously, because they want to mate and do all that stuff.
They get really territorial in the breeding season, and if you see two together, they're usually fighting.
Yeah, which is typical. At the last zoo I worked at, there was a hand-raised male deer named Sammy, and I got to go in with him, and he was pretty lovable and whatnot.
Oh yeah, you just gotta watch out for those antlers; they'll get you.
Yeah, they were big, and there's animals I work with here now at the El Paso Zoo. They're called pronghorns. If you've ever heard of those. Yeah,
I definitely want to go on a pronghorn hunt one day.
Yeah, and I guess there's different subspecies because there's some that are the ones I work with are extremely protected. Like you can't shoot them, nothing. But they look pretty much the same. Because I know Marcus, guy we used to both play with, he hunts them because he sent me pictures. Pretty much every animal I work with, Marcus has killed because the animals in my section are like ones that you'll find in the southwest region of the United States / Mexico. So
yeah, that's definitely in his area.
Yeah, and expertise. So Arizona, if it ends up in Arizona, like even a quadamundi, man, he's fucking shooting quadamundi, and those things are cute. So I don't know what the deal is with shooting them, but no, definitely the pronghorn. What's interesting about them is they're like a hybrid of their horns aren't really horns, they're antlers. They're like a hybrid. You know what I mean? Like because they prong out like antlers, but
they're different. They're like I would almost say like a fork at the end. That's it.
And
do they shed every year too?
Yeah, they shed theirs, and it's pretty cool. The next time they shed, I'm going to take some home because I called dibs on the next ones. But I made a mistake at work the other day because I just started working with the males. I've seen the females. I've been in with the females, and they're super nice. They'll kind of like headbutt you a little bit, but it won't hurt because they don't have any horns or anything. But we can't go in with the males because they have huge horns and they get a little aggressive sometimes. But there's 3 males that I take care of in the morning and in the PM, and one is like the runt and gets beat up all the time. So, but like not that often. It's only like sometimes. And I forgot, like, because they all look the same. So they were always like, don't put Bowser. His name's Bowser. Don't put Bowser alone with Benito, because they fucking hate each other and they'll go at it, and Bowser will lose every time, and we don't want him to get hurt. I said, all right, I won't do that. And I thought I had the other one in with him. Like I locked them in a small little corner stall while I was cleaning, and all of a sudden I just see Bowser getting his ass whooped by Benito. Like in the corner, like just getting like chased and hit with the antlers and stuff and the horns. And I was like, oh shit. And I like run and and like quickly like lock myself out so I don't get caught in the crossfire, and then open the door and Bowser just takes off. I was like, all right, like you can't put him in a it was literally like a minute. It was like a minute, and they were going all at it right now, and it was a scary experience.
Bowser's day.
I know I did, but he forgave me. I gave him a peanut. That's all it takes. But that's why like seeing that deer video really, because I work with things that are kind of similar to that, and it's it just sickens me, and I'm sure it sickens you as well.
Yeah, there's people out there that will do it, and you just gotta hope one day that they get caught.
Like, have you ever been hunting with a person that has like had maybe not done something like that, but definitely hasn't respected the game or the sport?
I can't say I have.
You've always surrounded yourself with some people that do.
Yeah, they kind of do everything right, Yeah, because when you kill an animal, everyone that I hunt with, you're doing it to feed yourself.
Yeah. But I wonder if there's like a spiritual aspect to it, I feel like that's why I feel like I couldn't go hunting, man. I'd do it and then I'd be like, all right, let's surround his body with flowers. That'd be fucking weird.
I've taken a lot of new guys that have never hunted before. It's something that you will get addicted to. Not the killing, just going out and going through the whole process.
Buck fever.
And seeing them. I could go sit and not shoot something and be perfectly fine with it.
See, I couldn't do that.
How they react and everything, when they're around each other, the different things they do.
Yeah. You basically have done stuff that I've done. You've studied the behavior of them,
Mm-hmm.
So know their body language, distress, content, whatnot, alert, all that good stuff.
They're always on alert, man. I'm telling you, they're hard.
Their ears, man. Their ears are gnarly.
Their sight and sense of smell is unbelievable.
Yeah, their eyeballs in general are just massive.
They don't miss a whole lot.
But yeah, hopefully those guys, if you haven't, I think their names are Cody Hetrick and Alex Smith from Brooksville, Pennsylvania. You guys are fucked if you're listening to this. Definitely going to jail for the rest of your lives because that's terrible. Please sign the petition if you haven't. Anybody out there? Because it's pretty much everyone on Facebook. Literally, just look up petition for deer. And there's like 1 million signatures already, and I know the Pennsylvania cops have already pursued them, and I think they're in custody right now, but they're minors technically still, so I'm not sure what they can really do. So we'll have to see.
They can definitely do something about it.
Hopefully, but all right, man. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing some knowledge. What are your plans tonight? Wild Friday?
I'm cooking dinner right now.
You making some deer?
Yeah, I am.
Are you really?
I am.
All this talk about it got you hungry for it, huh?
Yeah, I had to do it.
What are you gonna have with it?
I'm doing some hamburger helper.
So deer helper?
Yep, pretty much.
Deer helper? Damn, that makes me want that now. Damn, I'm hungry. Well, man,
make you some.
You should, and then just send it to me. That's all I'm saying. It's got to be easy to send deer meat, isn't it?
I don't know. It's got to stay cold.
Let's talk about one more thing before I let you go. You missed out on the fantasy playoffs this year after I drafted you an amazing team. What happened?
God, I needed 3 points to win. I had to win out the rest. I had to win my last 4 games.
And you won the last 3, huh?
I won the last 3, and
wow.
I got down to the 4th one. I need 3.6 points to win.
From Tyler Lockett, who's been a top 5 receiver all year.
Has not had a week yet that he has scored 0 points, and he goes out and he scores 0 points.
And it was
Did not have a reception.
It was against the Vikings, so I watched the game. He actually had 3 targets that game. One was in the end zone, and I remember you texted me at halftime. You said he's not going to do it, and I said he literally needed 1 catch. Think about it. He needed like 1 catch.
1 catch, that's it.
One catch for like 10 yards, and he'd be all right.
I think he scored 40 points for me 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, he had some pretty big weeks. I played him in my other league. I'm still playing him, so even though he's against the Rams this week. But that's rough, man. That's fantasy because I've lost. I remember a few years back I didn't make the playoffs because it was of a recount. I don't know if you ever seen that. Sometimes when the games are like late games, or like fantasy will mess up, the ESPN app will mess up and not tally some of the yards, or say there was like a reviewable play and they needed to get more yards from it. And I ended up losing because I won. It said I won by a point, and then it said I lost by 0.75 points because they took yards away or something. It was crazy.
That's just unreal.
That's just fantasy. I mean, I stress out this time of year all the time. I'm 11-2 in my league in Kentucky. I have a first round bye. My team's stacked, but the last 2 weeks, like 4 key players on my team have just sucked. And there's some other people in our league that are getting hot right now. And I am not trying to choke when I'm 11-2. I've dominated all year. This has to be my year to win. I haven't won one time in this league, and I've been the commissioner every time. I've gone to the championship 2 out of the 3 years that it's completed, and I'm on my way to my third, hopefully. So I can't choke. Can't choke this year. I gotta knock on wood and hopefully be okay.
You just gotta go with the flow and get it done.
That's all I'm saying. How's Gunner doing, man? Last question. Sorry.
He's doing good. I seen him last week.
He came by?
I went down to Georgia with my family for Thanksgiving, and I seen him and tried to convince Mom to let me bring him back up for the week because we're only up here for 9 days, and I head back home.
Yeah.
He wasn't with it. But he's stuck with me every night. You know, he never does that. I don't know why, but I guess he missed me.
Is it weird not having a dog around the house this year?
Definitely it is. I miss Psycho Hurley running around every day.
That's what I'm saying, man. I miss him too, all the time. Rob sends me a good bit of videos, though. Too bad he got his nuts chopped off.
I know, poor Hurley.
But he's gained some weight, though. I've seen the pictures. He looks good.
Yeah, he should settle down a little bit, fill out, which that comes with age too. But
that's what I'm saying. There's all I got here is some stray cats outside. And they're all, like, super nice, though. They're, like, the nicest stray cats I've ever seen in my life.
They wouldn't be there if Hurley was there.
No, hell no. He'd chase them off in a heartbeat. Well, all right, man. I'll let you go. I'll let you enjoy your deer. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your insight. And good luck this season.
Not a problem. I appreciate it.
I'm sure we'll link up at some point.
At some point, we will see each other again.
And you will take me hunting.
I will.
I'm surprised we haven't already. I just lack the patience, but I will try my best.
It's fun if you're seeing stuff.
That's the only thing. I need to be able to see stuff. I need to keep my mind busy, especially if it's cold. I could not do that. Just sit there in the cold and freeze your ass off.
There's a lot of bird watching that goes along with it.
you start getting good at looking at birds and stuff. Like, I know that bird.
Definitely an avid bird watcher now.
Part-time bird watcher, full-time hunter. All right, dude. I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for coming on.
Not a problem. Talk to you later.
See ya. And that was Garrett Vathroder. Always good having him on. Always good having good friends on. First guy that wasn't in my fantasy league, I think, that was on this show. But yeah, just a disgusting thing I saw with the people killing. You know, the guy killing the skunk, guy killing the deer and torturing it. It just people need to figure out that I'm not this some crazy PETA dude, but y'all need to figure it out that that is sociopathic, psychopathic behavior with like just killing for the shits and gigs of it. You know, kill for a reason, to survive, kill to eat. You know, Garrett said it. Garrett's the best, most experienced hunter that I know, and the story that he told me with his granddad when he brought back a bunch of the birds. You know, that right there is how you teach a kid to respect wildlife and respect the work that has to go into it. But anyway, yeah, we'll get back. Let's get back into football. Let's get back into the real reason why I'm on here. We can get on something else that grinds my gears football wise. This was a couple weeks ago. The Eagles got blown out a couple weeks ago, down 2 touchdowns. This is a big pet peeve of mine. You're down 2 touchdowns, and you score a touchdown, even though you're down, and you're sitting there dancing in the end zone. None of that. FIO. And I hate when people are scoring first downs or getting first downs when they're down by 20 or down by 30, and they're still doing like where you point first down. No. I don't like to talk about the Patriots too much, but they are the gold standard It doesn't matter if they're up by 20, if they're down by 20. They get a first down, they hand the ball to the ref, and they get back into the huddle and listen to Tom Brady. Just wanted to rant right there. They need to figure it out big time. Next I can get into is that brutal Sunday night loss, heartbreaking loss. Vikings, Seahawks. I'm sure everyone saw it. Damn, man. It was 37-30. If you don't think Kirk Cousins is worth his contract as of right now, as of December 6th, 2019, then something's wrong with you, because he has been playing lights out. He, what is it, 25 touchdowns now? 24 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. 4 interceptions, and 2 out of the 4 of those are not even his fault. Diggs dropped one in the last game. Down 17, 3 scores, down 17 with 13 minutes left in the fourth, and he brought it back to a 1-score game. If Dan Bailey doesn't miss the kick, then it's a whole different mentality. I am one to argue that. Like, we went 3 and out. We got a quick first down to Kyle Rudolph, then went 3 and out on the drive that was supposed to show everybody that Kirk was the guy. And 4th and 3 goes to his rookie tight end, which I thought was a bad call there. But it's a whole different mentality you have in your team with the huddle. It's like, okay, now we have to go down the field and score another touchdown. Not just, hey, let's get 40 yards, let's get like 50 yards here and let Dan Bailey kick us into overtime, and then we'll beat him from there. No, he shanks the PAT. He's so inconsistent. He'll bang a 52-yarder perfectly down the middle, then he'll shank wide left a PAT. I can't deal with it. It's too stressful. It's never a gimme with him. With really any kicker besides Justin Tucker this year, and even he's missed a game-winning field goal this year, which is crazy to think. But definitely a heartbreaking loss. I thought that we fought really well. I'm not happy with the outcome, but I'm happy with how the team fought. Kirk Cousins, no Dalvin Cook, no Adam Thielen again, and orchestrates amazing drives. Defense needs to figure it out. Gave up 400 yards, over 400 yards of offense, 37 points, and somehow people still like to put it on Kirk. Because, he's playing defense. But the drive where we stopped them, we had a 3 and out, and then they go for the fake punt, and then we get the fumble a couple plays later. That just shows our defense is still resilient enough to get a turnover, even if something like that happened. But we got a good matchup with the Lions on this Sunday in Minnesota. We basically have 4 home games left. We got the Lions. We're sitting there 8-4 with the 6th seed, which is crazy. With the Rams knocking on our doors at 7-5 or 7-5. But we really needed that win against the Seahawks to stay pace with the Packers. But we got 4 home games left if you think about it. We got the Lions, then we got the Chargers in LA, but it's practically going to be a home game, and then we got the Packers and the Bears at home. All very, very, very winnable games. I am not afraid of Green Bay Packers. I am not afraid of the Bears, even though Mitch Trubisky seems to be finding some kind of fire late, 2 hot weeks in a row for him. I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of the Chargers. They seem to find a way to lose every week. So, yeah. And the Lions don't scare me either. So I think that we can win out. We'll go 12-4. If we're a wild card team at 12-4, that just goes to show how strong our division is. Hopefully we can maybe push. If the Packers get upset by somebody, then we can make some kind of a push for the division, which would be the ultimate thing that we want to do. But that's my Vikings review. We'll get into more next week after we play the Lions. I want to get into my matchups this week. We gotta go for our matchups, see how many we can get, see how many we get right, see how many we get wrong. I'm sure there'll be some wrong. I'm not doing the Colin Cowherd Blazing 5. I do them all. So let's get right into it. First game was obviously Cowboys at Bears, but the Bears prevailed in that one. Colts at Bucks. This is an interesting matchup. The Bucks have a juggernaut offense, even though they not really attaining to wins. Colts are hot as of late. They got a good, not great quarterback in Jacoby Brissett, but I'm going with the Colts here to beat the Bucks, and not quite the upset. Next game, Ravens at Bills. Do not sleep on this matchup. Josh Allen, I rode him into the playoffs in one of my fantasy leagues, and I am starting him confidently against the Ravens, who have a very excellent defense. I believe the Ravens are going to go ahead early, and it's going to force Josh Allen to throw. Do I think they're going to win? Hell no. The Ravens are the best team in football for a reason, and it's certainly they're going to win this game pretty convincingly. Next game, Lions at Vikings. I just got done saying I'm not scared of the Lions, and it's at home. It's very tough. We haven't been very good home team this year, but we will prevail in this game. Lions at Vikings. Vikings are winning that game. Redskins at Packers. I am rooting for the Redskins big time. Do I think they'll win? Hell no. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, so they're not going to lose. And it's in Lambeau. It's going to be cold as hell. I'm not sure Dwayne Haskins is ready for all that. I think Case Keenum's going to have to save him. Next game, Broncos at Texans. I like the Broncos here with the upset. Drew Lock, do not sleep on him. Texans coming off a huge, I'm going to pull a Colin Cowherd here, huge emotional win. They're going to be a little tired, a little hungover from their emotional win against the Patriots. I'm going with the Broncos here for my upset of the week. Next is my game of the week, 49ers at Saints. It's both 10-2 teams, which is crazy. The 49ers are the 5 seed at 10-2, if you think about that. I'm going with Drew Brees here. I'm going with the experience over the good looks. You know, Jimmy G got the good looks. Saints, Drew Brees got the experience. So I'm going with Drew Brees here, and I'm not just saying that because he's my fantasy quarterback and I need him to play good. Even though I have a bye, so not really with him. But I'm going with the Saints here. Next, Bengals at Browns. I think the Browns are going to blow them out. I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a huge game. Everyone's going to overreact and say the Browns still have a chance to make the playoffs. They're beating the Bengals. They should beat the Bengals. It's Zach Taylor, the head coach. I think Freddie Kitchens is not much better of a head coach, but they got definitely the personnel advantage. I'm going with the Browns. Panthers at Falcons. Panthers fresh off of firing Ron Rivera. I don't think that's going to sit well in the locker room, and I think the Falcons are going to come here with the upset. Hopefully Christian McCaffrey still scores me like 30 points on fantasy, but I'm going with the Falcons. I think the Panthers are idiots for letting Ron Rivera go. I don't think it's about who you replace him with, I suppose. If you replace him with somebody good, we'll see. Maybe Ron Rivera will go to the Cowboys and make them a good football team because I don't think Jason Garrett's going to survive much longer. Or Freddie Kitchens. What if he goes to the Browns? You know, now I'm kind of liking Ron Rivera getting fired because I want to see him go to an actual good team where they'll respect him a little bit. Next game, the shit bowl, Dolphins at Jets. I'm going with the Dolphins here. I don't like the Jets really this much this year. It's a divisional matchup. Dolphins have been hot as of late. I think they think that Tua is going to fall to them in the mid-round, so they're not afraid to win more games or win out. Fitzmagic, doesn't matter. Dolphins at Jets. Dolphins are winning. Next game, Chargers at Jags. I'm sure the Chargers will find a way to lose, but I'm going to pick them to win. Jags are starting Minshew Mania again after Nick Foles got pulled very early after turning over the ball on his first 3 times. Thank you, Trey Sudduth, my best friend, who started Nick Foles against me in fantasy. Who scored a total of 45 points in fantasy. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me and lose in the first round. Next, I'm surprised this isn't my game of the week, but it's not. Chiefs at Patriots, rematch of the AFC Championship game. People are forgetting just how good of a year that Patrick Mahomes is having. He's been kind of a sleeper, and yeah, he's still the real deal. It's still Patrick Mahomes, so let's give him some credit. But it's still Tom Brady. But I think that the personnel matchup is just too great. I've learned not to bet against the Patriots, but as of late, I'm going to bet against the Patriots. I'm going with the Chiefs here. Next, Titans at Raiders. Raiders have been getting demolished the last few weeks. And the Titans are rolling. Ryan Tannehill found his second win with this team. I think he's the guy. I think Mariota's, if he's not going to be the backup next year, he will be somewhere else. I think John Gruden had a good thing going. First Josh Jacobs, first running back in Oakland history, first rookie running back to rush for 1,000 yards, which is crazy. They still have good offensive weapons. Derek Carr's still playing well. But I'm going with the Titans here. I think they're rolling. I think Derrick Henry, as long as he's healthy, this Titans team should roll over the Raiders. Steelers at Cardinals. Kyler Murray's playing great. Mike Tomlin, 7-5 with a playoff push here on his 4th quarterback, I think, of the year, which is crazy. It just shows how good of a coach he really is. And I'm going to keep going with them. I'm going to go Steelers here over the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are comfortable with being mediocre, and I think they're looking to the future. Hopefully Larry Legend gets out of there, but I'm going with the Steelers. Next, Seahawks at Rams, another divisional matchup. I'm going with the upset here. I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams are very up and up right now. I think they had a good last game against the Cardinals, blowing them out. They needed that game. They look like the Rams from last year, and I think they're going to continue that success against the Seahawks. And finally, wrapping it up with another shit bowl, Giants at Eagles. Doesn't even matter. I'm going with the Eagles, though. I think that they are going to see that the Cowboys lost, and they got to get some kind of motivation. They just lost to the Dolphins. They got to bounce back and beat this bad team in the Giants. So those are my picks. Write them down. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. It was a little bit different. It wasn't all sports this time. I wanted to talk about some stuff that I was passionate about, being in the wildlife, and I'm an avid conservationist and whatnot. So seeing videos like that online really does irk me, and I hope those two guys get everything what's coming to them, and because they deserve everything. So y'all need to figure it out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Garrett, again for being on my show. Tune in next week. I will not miss another week. You heard it here first. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good week.